So, happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. It's Finny here from Finny's Homebrew Emporium, and I just had an awful brew day. You'll get to see some footage in a minute. And I started off with so much enthusiasm for the beer, that eventually it's just worn me down. So, first off, I'm going to pour this. This is from Paul Wigstead. This was his Berliner Weiss, so real keen to try this after making quite a few the last few weeks. See how tight this one is. So I'm pretty sure he said there was some cranberry syrup that went in it. Ooh, it smells pretty good. So cheers, Paul. Oh yeah, definitely get that cranberry. Now, cranberries aren't always my favourite fruit, but the tartness should go well with the beer. It's quite... It's got a sweetness about it I wasn't quite expecting from that. Yeah, I think maybe just too much syrup, because underneath you can get the the lightness and the spritziness of the beer, and it's got a slight tartness. Yeah, nothing overpowering, but maybe that syrup's just a bit too much. Be interested to see what the base beer was and how that was before the syrup got added. But I deserve a beer because it's been a shitter of a day. So, I mean, you'll see, I've got some of the footage, we'll play it after this. So I started out trying to make a Barleywine using the grain father, but I only wanted to make like a 12 litre batch, just so I could, try out recipe and just, have it sitting around. I don't want too much of it. So I thought I could do a no sparge in the grain father. And so, yeah. You can have a look how I got on. Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. It's Finny here from Finny's Homebrew Emporium, and today I am making Barleywine. So I've got the grain father just coming up to temperature now, and as you can see, it's quite full. But what I'm going to be doing is a no sparge. So I'm only doing a 12 litre recipe. So the theory being I don't drink a massive amount of barley wine. So I just thought I'd try around and play around with it and make sure see if it's all good. So I'm just going to do I've started with all my water, and because of the efficiency of the grain father, I'm pretty sure that after an hour or so I'm going to be able to get full extraction, which I can test, which should be good. And then just crack into it and boil, and I'm going to boil for 2 hours, just create some of those Maillard reactions, some of that caramelization. And the grist is pretty simple. It's pretty much Gladfield ale malt, and there's a teeny tiny bit of biscuit in there, just for a bit of extra character, I guess. And I've got, I'll show you later, my yeast. I cultured up from an old West Yorkshire ale yeast that I got sitting in the fridge. So I made a 5 litre style the other day. So that finished a couple of days ago. So it's got a nice big thick amount of yeast to chuck in at it. So it should be good. Elsewhere, I have this. This is the American rye ale, I suppose it should be. And that's going to be kegged today. I'm just cleaning the top end of my keg. Just maybe all day. Oh, I've got to cut some in a bit. Right, yep. So yeah, kegging, brewing. Just had all to turn up. So I've put that away as well. And salts for this, because it's no sparge, I can easily weigh out everything I need. This is all just aiming for 50 parts per million calcium, 80 parts per million calcium, 50 sulfides and 50 chlorides. Just to give a balanced profile, but I just wanted to bump that calcium up for yeast health and flocculation, and just add a bit of mouthfeel with the rest of it. So we should be able to hit our mash pH. Fine. It's the colour of it is pretty much almost that base colour you can in Christchurch. You hit 5.2 anyway without having to worry about it. So that's good. So I'll crack on with this, and I'll catch you during, I guess, the mash. Phew, just about. So we're at 65. The mash is set. The salts have been added. All we've got to do now is add the arm on. So here we are, 20 minutes in. You can see it's starting to clear up. Normally with the grain father, because it's got such good efficiency and moves everything around so much, it's really useful to see the process and how it clears through that hour. So we're looking good. We're 20 minutes in. So this is what I like about the grain father. We're coming up to about an hour now. Now, if this was in a mash tun, I would just be, stirring, running out, etc. But you see how it's still slightly cloudy, which suggests to me that there's still some conversion to happen. So I'm just going to leave it longer. It's sitting happily at 65, so I can let this go for an hour and a half or wherever, or until I'm happy that I can see that there's full conversion happening. So I'll take a sample now, see what it's at. But my thoughts are that it's not quite ready. Right, yeah. So at the moment, we're about an hour and a half into the mash. Now I've done a couple of readings and both have come out around like 1040, which is way low. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on. The possible reason is because it seems to be a lot going down the overflow pipe, which could mean it's just bypassing that recirculation. It's just the main part's going down the top, which is a problem. So what I'm going to do is get this up to about 67 degrees and then switch off the pump. So that then, because it's such a large body of water, should hopefully keep its mash temperature at that 67 for like a good 20-30 minutes, and hopefully the reactions will take place, etc. But I've just been looking at Beersmith and how to set it up. I put it on for a 120-minute boil. So obviously it's going to boil down quite a lot. So pre-boil gravity should be about 1060. So I've been looking at the numbers though, and it's estimating a good 96% mash efficiency, which I'm not entirely sure why. So if it doesn't work with this, what I'll probably do is just get another kg of grain and add that in and give it a stir and carry on from there. I guess that's the beauty of having this system, is that you've got complete control over how you use it. With a mash tun I probably wouldn't be able to do that, but with this I could just add a bit more water or a bit more grain and sort that out, and at the same time probably sort that overflow pipe out and make sure nothing's going down the middle. So yeah, stay tuned. Right, so I've just rechecked with my hydrometer, this one here, and that's reading 1040 as well, so I guess that sort of confirms what the refractometer was saying, just in case, sometimes you may get misreadings from stuff. So it's getting late in the day to sort of change what I'm doing, so what I'll do today is bail out and make, I'm still going to use the wort, but I can make like, a 10-12 litre batch of a bail out. So what I'm going to do is just grab some crystal and add a bit of crystal into it, and yeah, sparge it off and boil it up. So 1040, what's that, about 1046, 1045 after boiling, so it's probably 4.5% pale ale, which is, thank you very much, I'll drink that. And as you can see, over time I've picked up a boatload of bits and bobs of hops, so 60 grams of Citra, a bit of Southern Cross, US Cascade, Columbus. So I have all sorts I can use and make an inventory pale ale, I guess, and get away with it, and put it in the fridge and ferment something out. So I'll do that. Alright, I guess it's a lesson learning day today. So I think I must have had a stuck mash or what have you, because I mean it's never really cleared up. You can see it's still quite cloudy. And this, I pulled up this for a good 5 minutes ago, and it's barely moved, which suggests that there's something not quite going right. So it hasn't been recirculating. Hence why it's possibly still, so hence why it's still, a bit cloudy, because it hasn't had that conversion, and why I'm not getting that efficiency. No idea why it would have stuck. There was nothing in there that would have made it stick, so I might get the spoon out, give this a stir, and see what we get. It's all a bit confusing today. I thought this would have been pretty straightforward brew day. It's turned out to be an absolute nightmare. So bear with me. I'll see if I can work some magic and sort this out. So yeah, as you can see, it's been a bit of a frustrating day, but we're nearly there. I've just done the 5-minute addition, and I think 100 grams went in, combinations, Cascade, Centennial, and Citra. So should be good. And then we'll dry hop with, I've got some more Citra and some Kohatu hanging around. So I guess it's a good way to use up the hops. I've got sort of bits and bobs I've got hanging around, and I guess it's not a wasted day prattling around. So I guess I mean, I don't know why it gummed up so much, but I assume just at the start it compacted that grain bed, because when I eventually got down and was able to get the spoon to it, it was really solid. So it just sucked it and sucked it in and compacted it, and so nothing was getting through. If I'd have known that at the start, what I probably would have done is taken the lid back off and got down there with the spoon, given it a bit of a rouse, and then reset it. But I didn't really realise until I'd lifted that basket up. So I don't know. We live and learn. But hopefully it will clear up, because it was still a bit cloudy. But I put copper flock in to hopefully sort that out, and it will drop clear. So at least we'll have some usable American Pale Ale. So what else can you do? You got to try these things. But I guess it's a good lesson for anyone out there who's doing these, doing any sort of beers. When you push in, well, I mean, I don't think it was pushing the limits of the grain father, but by testing the gravity on the way through and visually, knowing how the grain father works, and going through that, I could see that it wasn't converting properly, so it triggered that there was a problem. And by testing the gravity, that confirmed that I wasn't quite getting everything out of the masher that I should have done. So I guess it's a good lesson for everyone to learn. You can pick up on these things as you go through. And hopefully, avoid having a big problem. Because if I'd have just carried on, sparged, done my hop additions, I'd have just had a really bitter wort that wouldn't have tasted very good. It'd have been, almost probably an ESB sort of strength. It'd probably been only 1055, 1060 as a starting gravity, which wouldn't have been right, and there would have been no real hop flavour. So sidestep that problem. So we'll probably have another crack at it tomorrow, because I've got the yeast ready to go. I don't want to waste the yeast. Yeah, hopefully I'll film that, and hopefully we can have a follow-up to this where it's actually the grain father no sparge technique for a barley wine. So yeah, cheers Paul. I have your black IPA to try as well at some point. But until next week, guys, enjoy what you're doing, and we'll catch you soon. Cheers.